Hey, Quentin, how are you?
What up? You say my name like my mother used to. Quentin! I haven't heard that in a while.
Okay, Q. Okay, now I know why you're
It's
branding
that's
yourself Q.
southern. That's southern. My mom's from Daytona Beach, Florida.
Oh,
Quentin.
okay. Yeah, well then that would make sense. Over here from Atlanta to Milwaukee, making fun of me. I get it. Welcome to the Not So-Millennial Podcast. For those of you listening in, this is the CEO of Urban Misfit Ventures and a ton of other stuff. I'm going to let him talk about himself to you.
Yeah.
And we're gonna be digging into some cool branding stuff today. So take it away, Q.
Yeah, I'm excited. I appreciate you having me on. I'm getting sick of talking about myself, I own a company. We make videos, we tell stories, we host weird parties, and before all this happened, I was doing a lot of traveling and speaking, big into the esports scene, podcasting, stuff like that. I don't know. I'm weird. I do what I want and I have fun stuff. Get a cool dog. I'd say that's my biggest accomplishment. My dog thinks I'm semi-cool, so that's all that matters.
You know, I think a lot of people would have to disagree. I know you're super modest, but you got a lot of stuff going on for you. We appreciate your skill and the talent that you bring to the world, for sure.
Appreciate that.
Yeah. So today our topic is, if we had to start from zero as entrepreneurs, zero money, zero teammates, zero clients, what would we do? Why is personal branding why is it so important right now through the COVID-19 crisis?
Yeah.
I
Like
think that would be
personally or
helpful.
like what I would advise?
Personally.
Um, let's say personally, if I was starting from scratch, like no one knew who I was. I had no resources. I had no money. It's odd. I was walking with my girlfriend on the river walk in Milwaukee over here yesterday. And I was just looking up into the sky because I'm weird and that's what I do, and just wondering like if all this went south, like what I would do. And it like oddly excited me. It's like, yeah, like I could do anything, but from a personal branding perspective, and I guess from a business perspective too, it's like, what would the world need? And I think the question and the answer is the same on both sides. Of course, like you might have a product, you might have a service, you might have something X, it might be a video game, but I think you got to fill a need, you got to fill a void, whether that's personal branding or that's business. For me personally, I'd probably look at the esports scene just because everybody's online right now. And there are some, I know Georgia's like big in it, but there's some like events of course are canceled like in person, but everything's moving online, like Fortnite's and a top game again, like I would probably do something in that realm. I still might do something in that realm, but also like there's a huge void that's not being filled with people being connected to. So there's a lot of problems that people can fill. From a personal branding perspective though, I would say it would be harder for me starting from scratch because a lot of the reason I get what I get now and I get to do the things I get to do is because of my personal brand. So I would focus on like, okay, this is why people should know me. This is what I'm really, really good at. This is what I can do in esports, or this is what I can do in whatever void I was trying to fill. And it would just accelerate the business process, and I've always said like job security isn't a real thing, and
It's
I think
not.
personal branding, like I still have people in my inbox like, yo, like I'd love to get you into this speaking event next year. I'd love to do something digitally. Or like, hey, like, are you taking any personal branding freelance clients right now? And there's a lot of them, and it's because of the personal brand that I've built. And I'm not going to like bullshit you and say that I'm not scared, but I'm also just really freaking excited about this time because there is a lot of opportunities. And I know a lot of people are starting from scratch, and we're going to see real influencers and real businesses come out of this time because like, what is it? It's always darkest before the dawn or something. Like a lot of big companies, a lot of big brands, a lot of big people have come from dark times. I'm obsessed with the dark times, like I'm a musician. I'm weird. I don't know.
You're so dark and soulful. I dig it. Okay, so let's like flip the switch. And now like what is something that you would advise? So entrepreneurs coming off the street, maybe they just lost all their clients. They had 100 clients, now they're down to zero. They had to fire
Yeah.
all their team members. Flip that switch and kind of what would you advise during this kind of time?
Dude, I would say like we've been so fortunate, myself included, like so fortunate. Like these were the best times, like quarter one for us was the best honestly, not even the best quarter, the best year that we had. It was just quarter one, deal after deal, deal after deal. Like all these good praises, like clients, like giving us testimonials, like we were bringing on new people. We got our team up, like just firing on all cylinders, the best quarter, the best year. And we've all been so fortunate. And we've seen all these people say, oh yeah, I'm an entrepreneur. Yeah, I've got a business, but a lot of them are turning around and just bringing on unpaid interns and saying they've got a team, or they're posting LinkedIn videos, but they don't have an actual company. There's a lot of that, a lot of fake entrepreneurs, and we've been fortunate. We're going to see a lot of those people fall off. And advice, like I'd say, if you're an entrepreneur, you don't need my advice, because this is what we do. We figure it out, and this is what we signed up for. The moment, for the longest time, I didn't have any money. I had to sell, I rented out 2 of my rooms. My rent was $850, the cheapest rent, and I was freaking out, but the cheapest rent, it was $850. I had a 3-bedroom shitty apartment, and I rented out 2 bedrooms for $500 so I could live for free, so I could build my company. That's entrepreneurship. You figure it out, that's what it reminds me of. We signed up for times like this. We signed up for chaos. We signed up for responsibility. We signed up for, okay, I got to take care of my people. I got to take care of my people's families. This is what we signed up for. So I would say you don't, I can rant on it. I can help. I can definitely give some suggestions, but this is the time where you come alive and you figure it out, because there is no answer. And I haven't been through this just like no one else has been through this, when this happened, it's damn, oh wow, what do I do? I've probably got to talk to my team, I've got to send an email, damn, I'm a leader, shit, I got to actually do something. I've never been through this, and I'm 26 years old, it's a lot of us right now. We're all in this together.
I didn't know we were the same age. When's your birthday?
December 11th, 1993. I'm a baby. Okay. Although I got gray hair, so I'm
the 30th, 1993.
30th December?
Yeah.
Oh, Capricorn. All right. Sagittariuses are better, but it's all right.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Okay. Fighting
it's the ego talking. I'm sorry.
Fighting words, Q. I'm keeping that in here.
It's all good. It's unfiltered.
I know it is unfiltered. This is a very unfiltered podcast. And honestly, I talk to a lot of Gen Xers and Boomers, and I've been in touch with a lot of people this week, even, previous clients, past, present clients, future clients, where contracts have been put on hold. Just for now. Yeah. And they're scared. They're scared shitless. They're like, we've never been through this either, so they don't have any solid advice really either, because it's kind of who can say, I was supposed to get married on March 21st, and who can say a pandemic stopped my wedding?
That's pretty cool.
Seriously?
Not gonna lie, that's pretty cool.
I'm turning that into a social campaign. You best believe it. It's kind of incredible what's going on, and there's tons of different opportunities in this. You're right. But for the average entrepreneur who maybe just got started, they're not seasoned, they don't know what they're doing right now, and they just happen to take the plunge before the actual plunge happens, what would you say could be some starter personal branding tips? What would they, because, most entrepreneurs, we're into everything. We're not just good at one thing. We're good at 17 things, and then we have to brand that,
Yeah. I would say for me, this is more, I can only speak from my experience. I know myself very well, and I like to know everything about everything. I have notebooks on people. This is when we met. This is what happened. You owe me this favor. I did this. This is your birthday. I'm going to send you. That's just who I am. I like to know everything about everything. So I'm a big tester, and for people that are just getting started, now is your time, for sure. Now is definitely the time. A lot of opportunity can come out of this. You also have a lot of time with yourself right now. I would say test, whether that's putting out a video on YouTube, for a week and seeing what happens, seeing what the response is, or for 2 months, seeing what the response is. I'm literally running an experiment on personal branding, and it's basically me starting from scratch, and it's if I can build a separate personal brand from the personal brand that I have in a completely different area. So think Donald Glover and Childish Gambino, think Batman and Bruce Wayne, a completely separate. So business and creative and art versus video games. And I'm just seeing hey, what's going to happen is it's a completely different audience, a completely different psycho, geo, demo, everything, and I'm just testing, what is that going to take? What do I need? What type of content is going to resonate, and just testing everything, keeping track of everything. I would say do that, because then you'll actually know what's going to work and you'll accelerate those results versus just throwing a bunch of spaghetti at a wall and seeing what sticks. But get clear on what you want and then treat it like a science experiment, you know, like what's a hypothesis? What's a method of testing? You go, just repeat.
Mad scientist. That's your new, it's your new name, mad scientist.
See, I also have a notebook that is a scientific notebook, and in there, one of my I know, one of my what is it called? Experiments was like, can I get people to call me a mad scientist without ever saying it? And you just said it. I'm sorry, I'm weird though, but yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
It's really what it is. I mean, branding and arts in general are definitely science. A lot of people, I love proving people wrong, like from a social media strategy stance. You know, when I work with clients and I onboard them and all that good stuff, there's always it's just social media, or it's looked at as a luxury, or I'm like, whoa, hey, it's actually a necessity and it's an actual science. It's not just like, let's post in pretty colors and all this. Like, if you're spending your money on that, you want to see ROI, tangible ROI, it's going to take testing and it's going to take a lot of it. So
yes, literally science. Science.
I suck at math, but science needs to be
same other people for. It's all right.
If I get asked, you know, because like I'm a serial entrepreneur, just like you, kind of thing, and I get also all the time, is there something, you know, you can't do? Math. Like,
oh, there's a lot of things I can't do.
Yeah, I can't do a lot of
terrible.
sports. I can't do those either. I'm not
I've learned a lot about myself though, you know, like I'm really bad at running the company. I'm really good at driving the company though, you know, like I always need a number two, a really good number two. And it's just something I've learned. Like Izzy is the fucking best. He runs a company. I do not. If I did, we'd be dead. Like, and I know that, you know, I 1000% know that, but I can push us really, really fast. You know, I can redirect us really, really fast. I can bring things in really fast, but you talk about ops, you talk about anything like that, and we will die as a company if I'm touching it.
Yeah. I think I'm in that boat. So that's okay.
Like I can do it, you know, if I need to, but for like a year at most, and I will be drained and just dried out to the bone if I'm doing it, and the company will suffer because of it.
Yeah, I feel that. I feel that on a spiritual level. So, oh, cool. All right. So we talked about starting from zero, talked about a little bit personal branding. Now I actually just downloaded your LinkedIn course. So tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah. We made that, I don't know when we made it. Time just keeps flying. We made it like a handful of months ago. I don't really remember when. But everyone in our House of Misfits group, which is our Facebook group, just got it for free because the times are crazy, you know, and I want to see people succeed. If you're listening to this, just message me and I can shoot you the discount code for free as well. But it's really just how to monetize LinkedIn. And there's a lot of people that like, that's probably the number one question I get, like, yo, how do you monetize LinkedIn? Everybody loves money, which for good reason, you know, it's just, again, it's a science, you know, and a lot goes into it. It's more than just putting one post up and yep, here's $100,000, you know, it's a process, it's a system, and it takes time, it takes effort, and it takes testing. But it's really just helping people figure out who they are and then leveraging that online, because I'm a big believer that, like, I'm a gamer, you know, and digital profiles, social media profiles are just this extension of yourself, just like you would create a character in a video game. You know, it's your digital avatar. It is you. And when people really understand that, that's when they're dangerous online. That is the only reason I'm attracted to people online. It's because I am 1000% who I am. Because if I was doing anything else, like I guarantee you, people would not like me. Like I guarantee you, like I'm the weirdest person. Like I don't. Also, this is my first cup of coffee. So.
What? It's like, well, okay, yeah, there's a little bit of a time.
I've been up for a very, very long time. I didn't need it. I was zoning this morning.
I feel that. So as far as pivoting, because like this is another big question that, you know, you just said that you're really good at changing direction. You're really good. Most entrepreneurs are, you know, it's kind of like one thing that we do. Like I had a client, this is really weird. But I had like a client, it was a smaller client, drop out because contractually we were at the end of the contract anyways, and then COVID happened. So what am I going to do? Be a dick? I'm not going to be a dick. So
Yeah.
I let him go, but I had to make up that deficit for obvious business reasons. So I started painting custom canvases again. It's something I haven't done
That is legit.
in forever. Like I survived an entire summer. Like I quit my job. It was a corporate job. I hated it. Oh my God. Like remember, Gen X women hate me. So I was tortured, man. It was like a legal torture. So I quit and I was like, no, I'm going to do this on my own. I can't do this. And then I survived the entire, I think it was 8 months. It was more than a summer, but just off of custom canvas paintings. And you would not believe how many people support the arts, right?
Oh yeah.
So as far as like pivoting goes, let's say that they're not artistic like that. What's kind of like, I don't know, how do you usually pivot? Like what's your process in your brain? Because me, I go to creative. What can I do with my hands tangibly right now to make cash?
Yeah. I look at what's scalable. But it also depends where you're at, where your business is at. And again, I'm not an expert, I just do things. But for my business, it's what's scalable. I don't want to just pivot just for the times. Like, I'm not saying that's a bad thing. You totally can do that. For us now, we've just transitioned to everything online. And then I was just really thinking about like, okay, what does the world need? What will the world need? Not necessarily now, but even after all of this. And then who are we as a group? Who are we as people? And what do we really want to do? And this COVID-19 has just really forced us to ask hard questions, and make hard decisions. And I looked at just things that we've done. And the thing that stands out to me is just this event that we did, and I don't have to go into depth, but it was just quirky, and like super off the cuff. And we created this film that's gone viral multiple times. And it's what we're best at necessarily isn't video, it's not strategy. It's creating these experiences for people to connect and meet other people through story, and that's what we're really, really good at. So I'm looking at that and pivoting into that because one, we're the fucking best at it. But two, that's what the world is going to need. And that's what the world needs now. And from just like a personal level, I would just encourage you, if you do need to pivot, like personally, not necessarily business wise, something that I was told is look at your skill set. Look at your skill set. What are those things? For me, it's strategy, and I might be a little off right now because I've only had one cup of coffee, but strategy, I love experiences, whether that's digital video games, or whatever, or like an actual event experiences. Like human behavior, like there's a bunch of things in there. And I'm not the best at one of those things. I'm not the best at two of those things. But when you add 3 to 5 of those together, I'm really good at the intersection of those things. So I'd encourage you to find the intersections of your skills and passions, and then look at the world and the state that we're in. But more importantly, the state that it will be in. And then like figure out your pivot from there. And if that is like making canvases, like painting canvases, like totally like do that, because art and music right now, hell yeah, we need it, just like the Great Depression, like music, hell yeah, they needed it, like where are we going? Where are we? And use your skill set to decipher like where you want to go with your pivot personally anyway.
Music's always my go-to. I think I can speak on behalf of a lot of people out there. It's always our go-to.
Oh yeah.
For sure. Actually, this I'm sure you've already thought of this, but I could actually see you just listening to your stories and how each one interconnects. I could actually see you developing your own video game.
See, that's a big dream. I'm thinking more studio wise. I want to do something that's augmented reality. For those that aren't familiar, think like Pokemon Go, but on a different level. So you pop on some glasses or contacts and then you can see digital projections. I'd love to do a massive multiplayer online role-playing game that's augmented reality. So you like walk outside, you have these glasses on. Only people that have downloaded this game can like see, but let's say you have like wings on you or something like that. And like, I've got a digital weapon, like we're fighting, but it's like in real life, like I'd love to do something like that. But outside of that, I'd love to just, people are creating films. Like we're one of those people. The next thing is digital worlds. It's experiences. The people that master that, that's who's going to win, from a social media platform realm and from like a creation realm. So I'd love to just create series of games and just have my own studio as well. But I don't know. I'm interested in everything, so we'll see where I go.
To be continued. I could definitely see you doing that. There's just certain brain types that could totally knock that out of the park. You're one of them. So
shit it.
Yeah, straight up. All right, Q. Well, our time is up. Thanks for joining me on the podcast. Thanks for giving your knowledge. And I know everyone who is listening or who has listened to this podcast is probably very curious about how to get in touch with you. So tell us, what's the best way to get in touch?
Yeah, you can find me on any social media platform at tag, like @ tag TAG just Q. So tag just Q, TAGJUSTQ. Otherwise, LinkedIn, you can either search hashtag just Q or my name and I'll pop up. Just shoot me a message. LinkedIn's a little bit of a mess with the messaging because it's a very clunky platform, but if I don't answer there, just shoot me a message anywhere and I'll answer.
Perfect. Well, thank you again. And, I'll be watching you on LinkedIn and all the other social channels that I follow you on. So
likewise, homie.
All right. Have a good day.
You too.
Bye.
Yeah, I appreciate you.